Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the May 20th, 2026 Town Board meeting. We'll open up with the pledge to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'd like to make a correction here to the agenda. Number 14, executive session should read for legal advice regarding library litigation. Motion to that effect? So moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Just a couple upcoming events to note. On Friday, June 5th at 5:30, Arlington Jazz Machine will be performing at the stage down in Time Moore Park. We'll have a food truck here as well. It's a nice community event, and Arlington Jazz Machine puts on some great music. And then Friday, June 26th, beginning at 6 p.m., we'll have our community night. A number of food trucks. We'll have some tables for different town departments here. And then conclude the night with fireworks, and that'll all be here at Town Hall. Our finance report for April, in our general checking, we have $1,226,461. In miscellaneous receipts, we have $3,708. General money market fund, we have $96,883. General New York class, we have $2,792,713. General New York class reserve, we have $10,302. Total there is $4,130,068. Highway checking is $633,549. Highway money market is $37,312. Highway New York class is $32,459. The Highway New York class for West Clove Bridge is $620,504. Highway New York class equipment reserve is $209,508. Total there is $1,533,332. Grand total is $5,663,399. Overall, the April year-to-date net income is favorable, $102,000 versus the budget, mainly due to the timing of expenses. April year-to-date revenue is down $8,000 versus budget, mainly due to lower recycle fees and interest. And overall year-to-date expenses are favorable to the budget by $110,000, mainly due to the timing of expenses. Board member reports. Councilman Redinger?
No, nothing specific this week.
Okay, Councilman Harrington.
Yeah, I don't have much to report. I just like to thank the highway department for repairing the pavement on the way into the town hall. I got on that right away, and I'm sure our residents appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Derlin.
Just getting ready for the meeting and also reviewing the new library litigation issue.
Okay. Councilman McGivney.
Nothing to report this week.
Okay, and that brings us to town clerk report.
Thank you. I have a memo from the tax collector. She just wanted to remind everybody the last day for collection is June 1st, and you may do that in person, online, or you may get your envelope hand stamped at the post office. It's very important because if it's received after and it does not have that postmark, it is received the date that it actually enters town hall. Everything then will be turned over to the county on June 9th. So that's a note from her. And then also our park manager just wanted everyone to know that the kiddie pool will not be open at the beginning of the season, and he will have further updates on a timeline as the repairs go.
Yeah, they were having a problem with the pump on that, I believe.
Yeah.
He's trying to get parts for it.
Exactly. That's all I have.
Right. Okay. Highway superintendent.
So highway crews out, we're mowing shoulders, we started doing that this week. Been out preparing potholes, Sorry. Cleaning ditches. We've got oil and chip scheduled for June 8th tentatively, weather permitting. Paving, we're not sure on that yet, basically because the escalation of pricing on the blacktop. What's going on in the Middle East isn't helping us at all.
Right.
The West Clove Mountain Bridge is now down to one lane. The guide rail went off on the south side, so we've got it down to one lane. And the club who uses that bridge more than anybody are aware of it, and we're doing what we can for them. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. Animal control report, we have 3 of them here. Councilman Redinger, would you like to read the first one there, February, please?
Yeah, sure thing. Where's February? Oh, the easy one. Our animal control report, February 2026. During the month of February, there were 1 loss and 2 found dogs and 3 complaints. Respectfully submitted, Mary Jean Calvi, Animal Control Officer.
Okay. Councilman Derlin, March?
During the month of March, there were 2 lost dogs and 3 found dogs. There were 2 complaints. Please make sure your dogs are wearing readable tags and their license tags. A found dog will be reunited with its owner much faster and potentially avoid spending a night in the shelter away from his family when we can easily identify a dog.
Okay, thank you. Councilman McGivney, April, please.
Animal control report, April 2026. During the month of April, there were no lost dogs and 1 found, lost dogs and 1 found dog who was later transferred to the town shelter. 2 dogs were picked up from a motor vehicle accident and temporarily cared for while the owner was transported to the hospital. There was 1 request from Dutchess County Sheriff's Office for assistance and 1 complaint. Respectfully submitted, Mary Jean Calvi.
Okay, thank you. County Legislator report.
Good evening, everybody. This month at the legislature, the minority caucus submitted a resolution to support Senator Rob Rollison's Senate Bill S-8463, which would be a 1-year cut to your taxes on your utility bills and a 2-year cut for the energy portion. So it would basically create a tax holiday, which would create revenue right back to you immediately once it's signed. We did submit it to hit the floor of the legislature to get a memorialization, which is a letter of support, which would be sent to Albany, which helps these bills get pushed through. The chair of the legislature denied it, and it never made the floor. So we are asking that the public contact the legislature and say they would like to see this letter of support be put through the legislature to help with their energy bills that they're facing. So if anybody would be interested to do that, we ask that you do so. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
To the legislature in general, or should we direct them towards you? Okay. Thank you.
We'll be certainly doing that.
Any public comment on agenda items? Okay, we don't have any new business this time around. Which brings us to the Highway 284 proposal. We've all seen that. Everyone has signed it. This is the one that makes it all official. I'll read that for us. Whereas a resolution authorizing agreement for highway expenditures pursuant to Highway Law 284. Whereas the town board and the town superintendent of highways of the town of Union Vale are required by Highway Law 284 to enter into written agreement stating the places and way the highway fund appropriations for repairs, road repairs, and improvements are to be expended. And whereas the town superintendent of highways has submitted proposed Highway Law Section 284 agreements for fiscal year 2026 to spend highway funds for general repairs, primary work, and permanent improvements. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. The recitations set forth above are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. The town board and the town superintendent of highways agree that the monies levied and collected by the town for repair and improvement of highways in New York State for state aid received for the repair and improvements of highways shall be expended in accordance with the annexed agreements for the expenditure of highways monies. The town supervisor and the town board are hereby authorized and directed to execute the agreements annexed hereto in duplicate and file and set agreements with the town clerk. The town clerk is hereby directed to forward the executed agreements to the Dutchess County Commissioner of Public Works in their capacity as county superintendent of highways. A second on that?
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Harrington,
Aye.
Councilman Reitinger,
Aye.
Supervisor Frazier,
Aye.
Councilman McGivney,
Aye.
Councilman Durland.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. We spoke about this Millennium Grant Services Program in the past. I sent you an email a day or so ago on a second meeting with them. And the numbers that they had quoted us changed significantly. We were originally quoted a flat rate of 5,000 that would have been reduced to 4,000 if we partnered with another town, would give us access to their list of grants that we might be eligible for. And then we were quoted a rate of $150 an hour with a cap of in the area of 7,500 per grant to administer those grants. In this second meeting with them, that changed to a purchase of software from them for an annual cost of $15,000, which would include the 4,000 access fee. And then there would be a $500 monthly fee to administer the software. And that all comes out to about $25,000 a year. With that, there's no guarantee that we'll be eligible for any of the grants or that we would be awarded any of the grants. Personally, I'm not really thinking that we should be taking that risk because it would. I mean, we wouldn't see much return on our investment if we weren't eligible for the grants. It's also been my experience that many of these grants are geared towards the larger towns and cities that have major infrastructure, such as water, public water and sewer plants. We don't have that here, so none of that would be available to us. There are some road grants that come in here and there, but I don't know if it would be enough or frequent enough to make this a wise choice. Anyone else? Oh, also, we were working with Town of Pauling, and upon hearing these new rates, they've decided to withdraw their support for it. So I don't know if anybody else has any opinions here that they want to share.
Yeah, obviously, if it seemed okay with the first quote,
Right.
obviously it's way too much with the second, but nonetheless, I wouldn't do business with a company that's that disorganized and giving you a good faith quote. Because what else is going to happen?
Yeah, it was quite
It's just-
surprising.
Yeah, that's just doesn't seem to be in good faith, just my opinion.
I agree.
So,
Seems they were disingenuous with their original quotes. And now that the town of Pauling is pulled out, even the second quote could end up becoming a third quote, which would be higher. I see no reason
4,000
to
become 8,000.
pursue this.
yep.
It would become, well,
Whatever it was.
yeah, the 4,000 would have become 5,000, but that number is actually included in the 15,000
Okay.
software purchase. Apparently the numbers that we were given were in effect several years ago. And I spoke with a separate representative who actually does the grant administration. And he's the one then that brought me up to date, saying that they had dropped that program, a number of years ago, and wasn't sure why I had been quoted it. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Sounds like it's a mess.
Yeah, and I would like to pursue trying to find someone as a consultant in some respect. To
Yeah,
help.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Not screaming red flags like that.
Right.
You know,
So I'll keep eye and ear open and see what we can come up with there, but these grants are hard to figure out where to look. You know, if you do a Google search, you just get overwhelmed with the results that come back. And then during the administration process, they are so particular in how the applications are filled out. And then if you're awarded the same thing, you got to provide the documentation then of the work that's been done. It's just, you really need somebody who knows these things inside and out and does it on a regular basis.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess with that, I'll entertain a motion to just table the Millennium Grant proposal.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
And that's to table that indefinitely. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. As Councilman McGivney mentioned last month about the radio upgrade, he had recommended that we look into whether or not the antenna is working, the existing antenna is working at proper performance levels. It turns out that A1 Communications is the company that's been doing the servicing on that. So he spoke with me and said that he'll go up and make sure that that is the case and come back with a report on that. I haven't had that report yet. So we're still hanging on that for a little bit yet. Okay. Brightly Software was the task tracking program. I sent what did I send? I sent something out on that. Oh, the link to a webinar on that that's upcoming. If you guys have a chance to look at that, I'd recommend you do. They'll give you an opportunity to see how this stuff actually works. I spoke with Millbrook School District in the meantime as well. They had this program. They were very happy with it. But OC's apparently has a program that they were offered at no cost. So they had, they switched to that, but had they not, they would still be using this Brightly software. The representative also said that they're willing to negotiate a start price on this to make it more attractive. They really would like to get a foot in the door and have us use their program and see what its value is. And, I don't know if anybody has an idea what would make that attractive to us.
What about a trial?
I'll put that down and ask them. Trial period?
Yeah.
What,
Even if we had to pay for it for
Right.
a little bit, that's something that doesn't lock us
I
in
agree. It's a good
right.
idea.
stench to extended period of time.
Is there a price you guys have in mind that would be attractive to us as a trial?
Not
I would have to
15,000.
research-
Well, no, I
I
mean,
have to research that because I don't know what
Yeah. yeah.
that's supposed to be worth.
Yeah, that's the trouble. And, I had this conversation with the attorney. It's tough to compare software
Yeah.
because they generally are not doing the same things. One software does something different than the next.
Right.
And makes it have more value to some people than it would others.
Right.
So, it's tough to do that comparison. I'm not a software guy to start with.
Me neither, but I think if we could get a trial,
Yeah,
kind of see I'm always just worried about who's gonna actually do
That's
it.
my thought too. Kevin.
Right.
So,
It's, you can
I'll,
see if it sticks.
yeah.
And if
just
it's
see we
gonna
can get it to
stick,
stay. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, you can explore it further.
I'll have a conversation with him tomorrow and ask if that's in the cards there. That was, okay, yeah, that was the rates they had given us. And you guys are all aware of that. Okay. That brings us to public comment on town issues. Anyone? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to pay our bills.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. So a motion to move into executive session to discuss library litigation.
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. When we return, there may be a decision that's made, but and you're welcome to stick around. And yeah, so that's where we'll leave that. Turn from executive session, please.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. No decisions were made and no funds were allocated, and I am going to turn it over to the attorney at this point.
So the executive session was called to discuss the library litigation. There was a very recent decision and order in that case. That was the subject matter of the conversation in executive session. Pursuant to the conversations had in executive session, the board, I believe, is prepared to proceed with an appeal and to assign counsel to file that appeal. And there is a resolution before the board.
Number
right now.
44.
No, this will be number 43.
Yes.
Okay. Town of Unionville Town Board Resolution number 43 of 2026. Resolution appointing special counsel for legal services in connection with the Union Vale Public Library appeal. Whereas the town of Unionville previously appointed E&C Linders Esquire of Stenger, Glass, Hagstrom, Linders, and Yulee LLP in connection with an Article 78 proceeding commenced by the Board of Trustees of the Union Vale Public Library and the Union Vale Public Library against the town of Unionvale. The Town Board of Unionvale and Stephen Frazier in his official capacity as Supervisor of the town of Unionvale. And whereas on May 18th, 2026, a decision and order was rendered in this matter, and whereas it is the intention of the Town Board of the town of Unionvale to appeal this matter. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1. The recitations set forth above are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. 2. The Town Board of Unionvale hereby appoints and retains E&C Linders Esquire of Stenger, Glass, Hagstrom, Linders, and Yulee LLP with offices at 1136 Route 9, Wappingers Falls, New York, 12590 as special counsel for the purposes of conducting all appellate matters in relation to the May 18th, 2026 decision and order in the above matter, including any motions to renew or re-argue. 3. E&C Linders Esquire of Stengel, Glass, Hagrum, Linders, and Yulee LLP shall be paid for such legal services in accordance with the representation letter submitted to the town board dated January 8th, 2026.
I'll second that. Any discussion on that? Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Harrington,
Aye.
Councilman Rettinger,
Aye.
Supervisor Frazier,
Aye.
Councilman McGivney,
Aye.
Councilman Derland.
Abstain.
Okay, thank you. Believe that brings us to a conclusion here.
Did we approve the minutes of,
Oh, yes, I skipped over that, didn't I? Yep. Approve the minutes for 4/15/2026. I'm sorry.
I'll make the motion.
Second on that.
second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Our next meeting is here, June 3rd, 7:30 PM. And I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you. Oh, motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you.